This presentation is a Tier 1 intervention plan by Lauren Stutz and Perry Catherine Furr. A Tier 1 intervention plan contains creating a physical setting that supports academic and social goals, establishing and maintaining expectations for behavior, enhancing students' motivation, curriculum design, and working with families and community members. We will focus on the first three aspects of Tier 1 set in two different subject area classrooms, social studies and chemistry. We will also show how these two subjects could work together to enhance the academic achievement of the students. A recent issue of the Reading Teacher states, to create a literate classroom environment where students learn together requires design knowledge. According to NCSS Standard 4, social studies programs should include experiences that provide for the study of individual development and identity. This standard cannot be met without an appropriate classroom setup.
Hey. Yo, where do I sit?
This is a great chemistry classroom setup because students have viewing access to the front of the room as well as to the back of the room into the lab. This classroom setting is better for a social studies class because students are seated in a conference style and can see the teacher as well as the other students. This seating arrangement is beneficial to classroom discussion that always accompanies history lessons.
Physical environment research has shown that wall color and white space affect human learning. According to educational planner Jeff Lackey, walls and bulletin boards are some of the least acknowledged tools in the classroom. The effective teacher uses these to enhance certain ideas, capture student attention, and to create an inviting classroom.
On the first day of class, I will hold a meeting and ask the students to suggest rules for our classroom. We will then democratically vote and decide on 3 definitive rules. This is a valuable exercise for a social studies class because it teaches the concept of democracy. Once we have decided on 3 rules, I will display them in class so that the students are reminded daily what is expected of them.
As Carol Weinstein has stated, classroom rules should be in the affirmative, developmentally appropriate, few in number, brief in length, and about larger life issues. Therefore, these 3 rules that I have established for my chemistry classroom are perfect. Classroom management includes managing behavior. The reward-punishment system can be effective if used properly. There are 2 guidelines to consider when using this system. 1. Adding a negative or removing a positive should be used only as a last resort. 2. Rewards should be added at random intervals.
Motivation.
Creating a physical classroom setting as well as establishing and maintaining goals are instrumental in motivating students, but these 2 things alone cannot motivate every student effectively. Because classrooms are culturally and academically diverse, teachers must strategize and collaborate in order to reach each student effectively. In a case study done by the Literacy and Numeracy Secretariat, teachers became more enthusiastic about their planning of lessons collaboratively because it sparked ideas and promoted new practices. Help! My students hate science! What do I do?
I have some ideas.
To represent teacher collaboration in integrating subjects, I will use my high school experience as an example. I never had a desire to learn chemistry, but loved learning history. My chemistry teacher collaborated with my history teacher and presented a lesson on nuclear fission using the atomic bomb of World War II. I was interested in the lesson because it had historical content, but also learned a great deal about nuclear fission in the process.
Upon entering a new classroom, a teacher should ask the following questions. The more a teacher knows about her students' cultures, the more effective she will be at relating the content to their background knowledge and presenting the material in an efficient manner. When designing a curriculum, a teacher would greatly benefit from collaborating with her colleagues. For example, chemistry and social studies could be integrated in these 3 ways.
One way you can get to know your students and design culturally appropriate lesson plans is to have each student fill out a questionnaire on the first day of class like the one presented here.
In Piaget's constructivism theory, he noted that individual students create meaning in different ways. Oftentimes, gifted learners become bored with a class. Because each student finds different information meaningful, a teacher should want gifted students to delve further into the topic being discussed. It will be great to let them research interesting articles and present them to the class to help them gain a better understanding of how particular subjects relate to life.
Let's review what we have learned in this Tier 1 intervention plan. Ways to set up a classroom to fit your subject area, how to establish and maintain classroom rules, ways to motivate students by integrating subjects and using constructivism for gifted students, and an activity that will help you get to know your students. We hope you enjoyed our Tier 1 intervention plan.